Hey everybody, welcome to Movie Mavens, home of the Spicy Double Feature. I'm Carson Green.
And I'm Annie Janes. This week's Spicy Dub is the Iron Claw and Nacho Libre.
Annie, why would you say that this is spicy?
Well, it's got wrestling in it. But that's why it's spicy. How did we land on that? There's a lot of wrestling movies, but it turns out they're all sad.
Yeah.
They're all devastating. I think something's wrong with wrestling, you guys.
Yeah. No, it is tragic.
So, Carson suggested Nacho Libre. It was an instant yes from me because it's a wrestling movie that is not sad, but we'll get into that later. We should probably start with the Iron Claw.
Yes, let's talk about the Iron Claw. Annie, please hit me with some facts.
Okay, this movie came out December 22nd, 2023. Is written and directed by Sean Durkin, starring Zac Efron, Jeremy Allen White, Harris Dickinson, Lily James, and Holt McCallney. It has an 84% on Rotten Tomatoes, 94 audience score. Here's a description from IMDb. The true story of the inseparable Von Erich brothers who made history in the intensely competitive world of professional wrestling in the early 1980s. The first thing I just want to say on this is that a ton of my friends saw this movie. Friends that don't go out to see all the little indie movies, or they just don't see every movie. But a lot of friends I know went to go see this.
Okay.
I don't know what it has. Maybe it's just Zac Efron. It literally might just be that. I'm not so sure. But people seem to really be going out for this movie, and they seem to be liking it. But
did
you like it? Also, is my question.
Yes, but I think it has a commercial appeal because it's a sports movie.
True, very true.
People love sports movies, and especially ones that have some sort of triumph or some sort of message, I guess, some sort of I don't know, moral something.
Mm-hmm.
I loved this movie. I was not expecting to spend so much time getting to know the brothers and getting to know this family. And before kind of tragedy struck, and we're going to spoil this movie. But I was really invested in these characters. I was really invested in their interpersonal relationships. I was really invested in this brotherhood. So much more than I was in their wrestling career success. And I think that's where this movie wins. That's where this movie succeeds, is it really sets a foundation for us in order for us to then be heartbroken later. And, I went back and I was reading some interviews with what's his name? Kevin, the surviving brother. And I was reading more about this family and about all of this tragedy. And it just I don't know. I just felt I just feel so much. I feel so strongly about these characters, about this movie. I don't know. What did you think?
Yeah, I agree. Because of everything that Kevin goes through, I feel I care so much for him. And I also was compelled to go look into the true story after, which is somehow even sadder than the movie.
Yeah.
But I fully agree. It was a lot of the first half was just getting to know them, and then the second half was just, or maybe it was 2/3, 1/3, was just tragedy, tragedy, tragedy. And I do wish we could have spent more time taking in the tragedy, breathing with the tragedies. It felt like a fire hose of tragedies.
Yeah.
Just back to back to back. But if that were the case, then we would lose all this time with getting to know them. And I think that was really important to then feeling something for them later. I think that Zac Efron did such a good job at acting. I feel like he could be nominated for an Oscar for this. But what do you think?
Dude, he crushed. I mean, honestly, this is like one of my favorite performances, I think, of the year. I feel like he just is, like, personally, I think he just is a very wholesome person. I think he's just like a really nice person. And so for him to portray a really nice person who goes through something really hard, like, it was so just like, I wanted to give him a hug.
I know.
Like a pat on the back. Like he fell into wholesome but also sad so well. And yeah, he gave an incredible performance, dude. And look, I have to say something. Is this a safe space?
Safe space.
Okay, I have to say something. You know, I love our boy, Jeremy Allen White. But I just have to say, him on screen with Zac Efron and even with Harris Dickinson, it was like amateur hour. Like, he just did not give what, like, the level that Zac Efron gave. Like, that man is an actor.
He when he was on camera, when there was shots of Jeremy Allen White, I was like, wow, he's really blending in. He's not commanding the eye. Like, I'm not drawn to him weirdly.
Right.
And maybe that was a goal to just be filler, but I agree.
It was an extremely underwhelming performance from him. So much so that, like, whenever we do get into kind of the meat and bones of, oh, that's a bad analogy to say. When we get into the thick of his specific tragedy, it's just not as believable as Zac Efron's grief, I think. And I know that might be kind of a fucked up thing to say, but I mean, it just, like, it's the performance. It's Jeremy Allen White's performance. It just wasn't as impactful for me.
Yeah. I don't know if it was I don't know that I was, like, disappointed by his performance, but and I don't know that it was bad. I just think that Zac Efron just somehow just did so good, and everyone else too.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's this first time on the big screen, on the silver screen.
Is it really?
I think so. I mean, at least in the mainstream.
Wow, good for him.
So he's working on it. I still love the guy.
No, me too. He's such a darling, but
the reveal of that tragedy, like, we see him having a hard time with, like, doing what the purpose of the goal of, like, the whole family was for so long in this movie was to, like, to become the heavyweight champ. Mm-hmm. And he did that. And it's like afterwards he was hurting, like, mentally.
Yeah.
And he, like, goes for a ride on his motorcycle, really fucked up, drunk. And we think we know what's going to happen. It cuts to black. But then we see him, like, waking up in the hospital, or maybe at home, but he's, like, cut up.
Yeah, he was at home.
He's scraped up. And we're like, oh, okay, so he survived. And then he, like, goes and gets some crutches. We just see him, like, reaching for them, and we're like, okay, he hurt himself, but what's wrong? And then we finally, like, cut wide, and it's revealed that his whole, like, bottom of his foot was amputated. And that was a huge reveal. The whole theater, I think, made a sound.
Yeah, that was so... There's so many good cuts like this. Like, I'm thinking specifically about when the dad says, okay, tails for Carrie and heads for Kevin. And he flips the coin. And then rather than see the reveal of heads or tails, then we just, like, we're in the ring. And there's just so many fun and there's just so many good cuts like that. I really like how this movie was shot and edited. I love that part. Another one that reminds me of editing wise is when
The young brother puts on Rush. He puts on Tom Sawyer, and Carrie's like lifting weights, and he like is having an idea, but then we cut to the ring, and that's their like walking on music. That was so sick. And they're all fighting together.
Yes.
I love that part.
There was
some kineticness.
Yeah, there really was. Yeah. No, this movie, I think it also does something, it really, really accurately portrays grief in Kevin's character. I think specifically Zac Efron's character. Like him just lying in bed, staring off into space. That's what grief feels like. You just literally cannot move. You cannot speak. You can't even you can't form thoughts. You're just like, you just have to melt into the moment.
Yeah, and it seemed like the mom maybe was in a perpetual state of that even before anything wrong happened.
Yeah.
Because she was so aloof in a way that was like really upsetting towards her own children.
Yeah, and I think that was like, I mean, we see like how the dad corrects the sons, and I can only just imagine how harshly he has corrected her in the past, to where now she just kind of falls into line. And like there's this moment where she can hear the dad talking to the surviving brothers after David dies out on the porch, and he says to them, "I don't want to see any tears today." And they're like about to go to the funeral. And she's in her bedroom getting dressed, and she even wipes her tears away and is like, "No, I have to be strong. He doesn't want to see tears today."
Yeah, that's such a good example.
Yeah, but it's like, yeah, I mean, she was, I don't know, like I have really complicated feelings about that character. She was like a prisoner, I think, in her own family.
Yeah, I have complicated feelings too, in a way that like is really powerful when it comes to characters and art and things like that. And honestly, when the movie started, I thought that both the parents were actually going to be way worse, and it was going to be a much more like a parent abusive relationship. When it definitely was horrible, but I thought it was going to be like mustache twirling levels of bad. Right. But this felt like a realistic way that's bad. That's probably bad for a lot of people. Yeah. Did you get emotional in this movie at all?
Yes. In the very last scene. Oh my God. In the very last scene, I don't know. Zac Efron is just this performance is just so moving. But we finally see Zac Efron get a win. He sells his father's business. His father had since given him the business. And he finally has a little bit of money to buy the ranch that he's always imagined having. And he's out in the backyard watching his sons play, and he's just crying. And his sons come up to him and they're like, "What's wrong, Dad?" And he says something that is just literally, oh my God, this is going to stick with me literally, I think, for the rest of my life. This line. He says, "I think I'm just thinking about how I used to be a brother and now I'm not." And then the sons are so cute, and they say, "Oh, you can be our brother, or we'll be your brother," or whatever. Like that was it was so cute. But like him delivering, and then just his delivery of that line, and like how embodied and lived in that character he was. Yeah, I started crying. Of course I did. Did you?
I got misty-eyed. I don't think I dropped a full tear. But there's other factors of that. I feel like depending on the day, it could have been a totally different situation. Mm-hmm. But I was definitely emotional, you know. Yeah. It was very touching. And then like they all start playing football together, and it just feels like they're fixing the generational problems. And then the mom even runs out to play football with them, and it's just like a totally different dynamic. And it made me so happy for them. Yeah. I loved when the mom, like Kevin's mom, like the Holt McCowney, the dad, he comes in and he's like, where's dinner? And she's like, I'm not hungry. Didn't make anything. And he's like, "What are you doing?" And she's like, "Painting." Like that. I love that part so much too.
Me
it
too.
Felt like everyone got a little resolution.
Me too.
Yeah, I don't care about wrestling at all, but I really like this movie.
I don't either. Okay, I have a question. Well, okay, two questions. Number one, how much do you know about Zac Efron's body?
Wasn't he in a car accident and had to get like jaw reconstruction surgery?
Okay,
Allegedly.
yes, that's not what I'm talking about though. He have you like ever read or like heard him talk about his body when he did that movie Baywatch with The Rock?
I don't know. Say more.
Well, okay. My question is, do you think that he did steroids in order to get this large?
God, he was so freaking huge.
He was a unit, dude.
I feel like probably, but yeah, right? Like everyone. Yeah. Now I'm going the other opposite way. Anyone that's buff in Hollywood's probably doing them. So probably. What do you think so?
Okay, no.
Okay.
But I have a very specific reason why. Well,
Okay.
there's a few reasons, and it's because I just know Zac Efron lore because I adore him.
Well, tell me more.
Well, number one, he is sober. Zac Efron went to rehab in 2013, which is so under the radar. Not many people know that, but he's a sober person, and so he doesn't do drugs or alcohol. And then number two, like the way that he talks about working out and food, it's like he can set a goal and then reach that goal. He can reach said goal. It's like the director went to him probably, I don't know, a year before and said, I need you to be 200 pounds of absolute pure unit muscle. And Zac was like, okay, yeah.
And then he did it.
Okay. And then he did it. And like the way, like he gave this interview talking about his performance in Baywatch, and he was like, dude, I was dehydrated so that I could look buff, and like you could see the veins in his arms and shit like that. Like he would dehydrate himself in order to like do scenes. And like just looking at his body in this movie compared to what his body looked like in Baywatch, he just looked so much more supple and so much healthier.
Yeah. Like he had a poofiness to him.
Yes.
In a way that's probably really healthy.
Yes. Yeah.
Normal.
So it's like he was eating more than rice and chicken, you know, like he was
allowing himself to drink water.
Exactly.
While they were shooting.
Exactly.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. It was extremely positive for me to watch this and be like, damn, Zac, like you're a healthy person.
He's doing so right by himself.
He really is. No, he did great. I loved him in this movie.
Okay, well, I'm ready to score it.
Okay, I do have one final question.
Okay.
Are you ever going to watch this again?
I don't see myself getting like a hankering to, but I would watch it again if the opportunity, like if there was like a friend movie night or something. What about yourself?
Okay. No, I don't think so. I think I'm
Yeah.
going to set this one down and try and shake it off, if I'm honest.
Yeah. One and done.
Yep. Okay, go ahead, score him.
I will give it an 8 out of 10.
Okay. Yeah, I think me too.
Okay. Sweet. Let's shift gears hard into Nacho Libre.
Okay, Annie, please hit me with some facts.
This movie came out in 2006. It was written by Jared Hess, Jerusha Hess, husband and wife team, and none other than Mike White.
Wow.
White Lotus. Directed by Jared Hess. Starring Jack Black. Here's the description from IMDb. Berated all his life by those around him, a monk follows his dreams and dons a mask to moonlight as a luchador. It has a 40% on Rotten Tomatoes. 55% audience score. What'd you think?
This is a kid's movie.
Whoa. Really? I didn't get that vibe.
You didn't get the vibe by the second fart joke?
No, honestly, I was like this. Okay. No, go on.
No, continue.
I don't think I've seen this since I was a kid.
Okay.
But this movie was amazing to me. It was like inspirational.
Interesting.
I didn't think about it as a kids movie. I thought about it as just like a family movie, but not like for kids for some reason. I just was like, it's a movie for everyone. Jack Black is funny. It's all funny. I didn't remember that it had such strong like Wes Anderson vibes. I loved that.
Yeah. Oh my God, it was beautiful.
Yes. The music was so good.
Yes.
And yeah, there were fart jokes, but the humor to me felt more of just like of the time, like of 2006, something about it. But anyways,
okay,
go on.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it kind of had some like Napoleon Dynamite elements to it.
It's directed by same director.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
That's why I think
realize.
about it as not a kids movie. And the like Napoleon Dynamite, is that a kids movie to you? I guess I think about them as like this other category.
I don't know.
I mean, this movie's literally a Nickelodeon movie, like produced by. You remember that opening thing? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, right. Yeah. No, I was. I don't know what I was expecting. I guess, but just not that number of fart jokes, and it was like a lot of poop.
There's some grossness. Yeah. Like the egg yolk. Yeah.
Yeah, but it was. Yeah, I thought it was funny. Or maybe funny isn't the right word. I thought it was like endearing. There was definitely some endearing like quirkiness to it. And yeah, I can see it being like inspirational. I mean, he like set a goal and he set out and he didn't care if he looked stupid doing it. He just wanted to be who he wanted to be.
I didn't think about it inspirational like that. I thought about it like inspirational in the way of it just being a movie. Like I was like really inspired by like the shots of arms reaching in to like grab costume elements.
Oh, right.
And like there's just some moments that I just loved so much that were like inspirational filmmaking to me. Like when at the end, when he's in the wrestling ring and he's losing, he's like about to lose for real. And then he like looks over and his like love interest, he sees her entering the building, slow motion, but to the song that plays throughout the movie. That's like a flute and a guitar. And it almost sounds like the bad rendition of the Titanic song that's like on TikTok. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
It almost, it's like sounds like that. And just the contrast of like that music to the dramatic like love interest entering the building, he's getting his powers back to defeat the enemy, that contrast was so funny to me, and it worked so well. And then the following moment of him being like flying eagle or whatever, and he jumps and it's like slow motion flying, like those two moments I loved so much that it took this whole movie from like a like into a love for me.
Wow, interesting.
Yeah. And I actually, you know what? I did laugh out loud a lot. I'm trying to remember when. I'm going to look at my notes. But yeah, not all the humor. Like I hated the poop. That was horrible and irrelevant.
I really liked that he was, I mean, what is his character called? Like, what's his role in the monastery?
Like a friar.
Yeah.
Or like a missionary. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's friar. I liked that element. I liked that and then he talked about like he loves his kids. Like he works with these orphans and he loves his kids. And he's like, if I win this money, I'm going to buy a bus for the kids to go on a field trip. Like that was so sweet. Like it was really, I don't know. It was endearing.
It's wholesome.
Yeah, very wholesome. And then the sidekick character always having a piece of corn in his mouth.
Dude,
like
the shot of the like elote next to like a martini glass. I was like, I wanted to take a screenshot of it. It looked amazing. It looked like such a vibe. Like his Jack Black civilian outfit, and then later his like priestly outfit. I'm like, no, this is art. They are trying here. Like I don't know. It just felt really good to me. Okay, I remember two jokes that made me laugh.
Okay. When
they're at the party and his wrestling partner, like the Skeletor or whatever, he's exploring upstairs, and then he does I forget what happens, but he says like sorry somehow, and then you hear a woman say I forgive you, and the camera like pans over and she's sitting there. Do you remember this part?
Yes.
That made me laugh. And then he's like, how'd you get here so fast? And she's like, secret tunnels. The camera pans again, and there's like a hole cut out in the wall. They like on the upstairs. Also, that made me laugh really hard. And there was a few more things that made me laugh really hard, but the humor in the whole movie wasn't always like that. Sometimes it was definitely a little more lowbrow.
Like, something that was really silly that I'm remembering is he like left the monastery and he was like, I'm gonna go live in the wilderness. And then we see some shots of him like kicking dirt around and like building this little like shelter, but not really. It's just a bunch of sticks. And then a couple of like shots later, Steve, his wrestling partner, comes to save him. And Jack Black is like, how did you find me? And then he says, I just saw you from the village. And then we pan, and it's like he's in someone's backyard, basically.
I love that. Yeah. Oh, that was funny.
There's definitely some silliness.
Yes. Was it like too little to hold your attention? Do you feel like it was too silly?
Maybe, yeah, but at the same time, like, it was so beautiful. Like, the cinematography, chef's fucking kiss. Like,
oddly, though, right?
Yeah, literally oddly. And, like, the color of this movie, oh my God, it was so rich.
The church, like, the shot of, like, the church any shot with the church, really, but there's, like, one where Jack Black's, like, leaving, and it's just, like, composed really well. Another cinematography moment I loved is there's this random fucking guy, and this is the first time you ever see him, and he approaches the camera, and he has like a crazy eye, like he has like his eyes go in two different directions. He's old, and he has a really cool outfit, and he just walks at the camera like he's about to start talking to you, like in a Wes Anderson movie. And then the camera pans over, and we see that he's next to the building where the wrestling takes place in, and then he walks inside. And then later he just becomes a fan of Nacho Libre. And that's like it. But they just dedicated this whole moment to him. And I was so inspired by things like that. It was so creative.
It really was. It was very creative. It was advantageous. And I think in that regard, like in terms of filmmaking, it did land for me for sure.
Yeah, totally. This is this whole thing felt very like me watching it. I was like, this is an Annie movie. And I knew it was, but I hadn't really seen it in such a long time. A lot of my friends like it. And so it was just a joy to watch again.
Okay, there is a line that I have been quoting literally for the past 18 years.
Oh, do tell.
So it's whenever he writes his love interest a letter, which we won't talk about how she doesn't have any lines or a personality or a character, really. She's just a pretty face. But he writes her a love letter and he signs it, and like as she's reading the love letter, we get Jack Black's like narration of it. And at the end he signs it, and then and then it's like a bunch of XO. But the way that he narrates it is he says little kiss, little hug, big kiss, little kiss, big kiss.
A big kiss. Yes.
I've been saying that. I don't think I'll ever stop saying that. That's iconic. It's so
that made me
silly.
laugh out loud too. One comment on the fact that she has no lines. I thought it was really funny, like almost meta. The fact that at the end they're not together, and the last thing is like her giving him a thumbs up.
Yeah,
and he's like,
no, that's realistic.
You can tell it's hurt. He's hurt, and that's the end.
Yeah,
it is realistic. It's like, no, he didn't. Of course, he didn't get her. He said like one thing to her.
Right. Also, she's a nun.
Yeah. So that was funny to me. But I had fun. Thanks for recommending. Sorry it was a kids movie, but shout out for having us watch it anyways. I'm ready to score it.
Okay, go ahead.
You're going to laugh at me, but it's a 9 out of 10 for me.
Damn.
Better than Iron Claw.
Annie loves Nacho. What the fuck?
What do you think it is?
I mean, by contrast, I'm gonna give it a full 4, a very full.
What is that? A 6.5? That seems fair.
Yes. Yeah,
oh my god. Yep, that feels about right. Coming from both of us.
I'm really glad that you had a good time watching it. I'm really glad that you enjoyed it. That's what this is all about, baby.
Yeah, I hope that brings joy to you at the very least. If the movie didn't,
it does.
the fact that I did, love it.
It does, absolutely. All right, well, if you have a suggestion for next week's Spicy Double Feature, write us on Instagram at Movie Mavens or send us an email at moviemavenspodcast@gmail.com. That's it, Movie Mavens all the way out.